Las Vegas, show me how you're doing tonight.
Make some fucking noise. Put some fucking noise in here. How the fuck are you doing?
Hey, you're with Steven Goldberg, aka the Jewish King. We're here to talk about the Las Vegas music scene and what we can do to make it better. Well, first off, we need more venues, of course, with the Junkyard closing and pretty much with the Ruber going 21 plus. Kind of leaves a hole in the space since we only have a really box office and the Sanctuary. So that's definitely one of the things we need to fix. And then we actually need the bands to actually come together and be more supportive of each other. Lately we've been having a lot of shows where bands will play, pack their stuff up and leave, and that's really disrespectful to the other bands, disrespectful to the people who are there to watch the other bands as well, because it's not good to have a band play in front of 10, 15 people. The room should be at least 50 to 100 packed for them. So bands need to really pick up on that and stop being really all about them. The other thing I know some bands need to really pick up on is actually trying to sell their tickets. A lot of bands lately think that they don't have to sell the tickets, but in technicality, they should be able to sell the tickets. I mean, you got 5, 6 members, 3, 4 tickets a piece, it's like 15, 20 tickets. It's not that hard. So, you know. Then we have a lot of the people who always say they're going to be supportive and go to the shows. That doesn't happen. People say they got nothing to do, they're bored at home, and they ask, what can we do? Where can we go? I suggest, hey, go to the show. This is happening at the Sanctuary, this is happening at the box office. Get the same crap every time. You don't have money. But then later on Facebook, you're posting, oh, I went to 7-Eleven and I've got gummy bears and blah, blah, blah. And now you got money for that shit, though. So I'm sick and tired of hearing these kids say they don't have money when I know they have money. So be a little more supportive of that. And you know, with all the new promoters in this town now, with Chris and Sam, Dylan, Marcos, and then you always have Pulsar, me, Michelle, Smash Magazine, it opens the door more for bands to come together. But lately, bands have been choosing sides as well. They stick with one person and don't help the other promoter. So, like I've been trying to help Sam and Chris out as well. And they've been helping me out too, so you gotta actually stay together. And, you know, there's a bunch of shows coming to town with Summer Slaughter, Screaming Like You Mean It. So I definitely think the scene's improving. It's just a matter of getting the kids to go to the shows. You know, we try our best to help you guys out, so help us out. And try to be supportive, go to the shows, no matter where they are. And heck, put you on your own show. Yayo Tacos, Eastside Joe's. You can do $5 shows, free shows there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all either. But, pretty much what I have to say about that. I definitely want you guys to come check out some shows coming up. We got coming up June 4th at the Sanctuary with I Declare War. We got June 11th coming up at the box office here with Murder, Death, Kill, Dead Icons, and Thin Ice. Also at the Sanctuary the same night, we have Goliath and Deception Point. So you got 2 good shows to choose from right there. Also on June 8th, you have Modern Day Escape playing at the Sanctuary with Dr. Acula, The Bunny the Bear, and From Atlantis. June 2nd as well at the Sanctuary, you got Genocide District and Legends Shall Fall. You got a ton of shows coming up as well. So there's plenty more to check them out. Check out From the Great Productions. Check out Sam, Chris. They got a bunch of shows coming along with the ones I said. Dylan Fairchild, I believe, also has a show coming out with Slow Children June 15th at the Sanctuary. So make sure you check out his upcoming shows. Smash Magazine will always have your big concerts come out, like Scream It Like You Mean It. So be sure to check that out as well. I'm Steven. Nice talking to you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Samuel Favada, booker, promoter, music lover with From the Great Productions.
And I'm Roger from ScreamRockMosh.
And you're tuned in to ScreamRockMosh.
So what are your thoughts about Las Vegas music scene?
Las Vegas music scene. Alright. It's a 50-50 thing, to be really honest with you. 50% of it is good because people come out, they support the bands, especially the local bands. When touring bands come by, sometimes I see people only there for certain touring bands and not the others, so it's kind of on a very distant standpoint considering when the touring band at A, as an example, Emir, people will go down for Emir because they are a great band live. Everyone likes the breakdown bands here. But then if you get like a band like Between the Bear to Me as an example, B, people don't like to mosh to them. They like to, stand there because they don't have enough breakdowns. And this scene's just run by breakdowns and a whole bunch of CD and post-hardcore. That's just why but other than that, though, the other 50% is the bad part where everyone complains about the ticket prices and they don't realize that we put in so much work where sometimes I don't want to do stuff for you guys because you like to give me problems, so maybe I might do the same for you, but I'm not that much of a dick because I like to be a nice person. I want to do something for the music scene because I like doing something good for people. Because personally, I really don't hate anybody. I mean, there's probably a few people that might have eventually backstabbed me at one point, but I just let them go. But the music scene, it's good in its own ways. It can be worked out. Like choice of venues, we only have a limited amount of venues. Like the Sanctuary, Box Office, Yayo, Eastside Joe. The only all ages venues in town that don't require age restrictions. Then like you have venues like the House of Blues and the Hard Rock Cafe where all the bigger bands go. Yeah. But you have to be like 16 to get in there alone. Otherwise, it's no point to support the band. Like that's why I really feel like people should respect the venues that they have instead of holes in the walls. Because the show we're at right now is one that we're recording right now, like across. I guess last night at the Danger Zone. I guess some dude just decided to make a hole that was already there even bigger, and they got banned for doing that. So, personally, if you're not going to respect your venue, just don't show up because we don't want to deal with your problems, and I don't think you want to deal with me. So, that's about the music scene. That's what I think about.
Yeah. So, how about the general community of the music scene?
General community. Well, like I said, I think the city's run by scene kids, just short, skinny jeans. Not like this. This one's kind of baggy, but it's kind of like yours. Yeah, with the long straight hair, the exposed wristbands, and the colorful T-shirts and the colorful studded belts. I think that most of Vegas, or at least more of it, is run by those kids. I'm not gonna say that's a bad thing because at least they actually come out to shows and they support. But honestly, when it comes to a draw, I think we can do a lot better if it's pushed. Like we have a lot of hardcore shows that come out here, but no one shows up to like some hardcore shows because they want to get into fights, and once a fight breaks out, then our show is risking shutting down because we've had a few instances like that in the past couple of years. Like Ghost Inside First Blood, as an example, First Blood started playing. There were like fights like during their set, and I think like one of the security guys got bashed in the head with a skateboard and they rushed to the hospital. And Ghost Inside almost decided not to play because they didn't want to tolerate that on their set. But everyone was there for the Ghost Inside and not First Blood. At least that's how I saw it. So they played because they wanted to play for the music and not for the fights. So I respect that a lot. I mean, personally, if you want to go to a show, support the band, great. If you want to get into a fight, do it outside the venue. I don't want it to happen inside because people are there to see the bands. They're not there to throw down much. But then there's the opposite people who want to throw down instead of standing there and doing nothing. Yeah. But that's just what the community is. Last night I went to a real hardcore show with Crowded Turn and Cult Existence and like another band. But I totally saw like a different aspect of hardcore music in regards to like actually going to the show. People were getting sucked like that, but they didn't care because that's just the real life. It's a hardcore lifestyle, and I respect that because not one person's got to fight because they're all scared. We're there for each other, and I like that. I wish there was more of that at these shows. But you can't control people, and I can only control myself.
Yes. How about your opinions about local bands playing at shows?
Local bands, some respect what the promoters do, and they do not take them for granted. They don't use them a lot. but I've noticed that some bands, you know, they like to screw with us, and you know, some bands are already on our shit list, as like Chris Rock likes to say. But we give every band a chance. But if you like to screw with us and, you know, piss us off, we probably will not work with you again. But like I said, I'm not a dick. That's the other people's job. I'm just there to promote the shows, and book them, and just bring something. You know. That's about it for that. I guess.
Yeah, so how about like any upcoming shows?
Any upcoming shows?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Next Saturday, well, by the time you watch this, the show is probably going to be like tomorrow or something. Genocide District and Legend Softfall, two of Southern California's biggest deathcore bands in the scene, are coming out to play a show here. With Howl and Reaping, they're playing one last show, because technically they never broke up, but they weren't playing shows. But they decided to get back for one more show, and it's still the last show, so please support. Scavenger's daughter got on there last minute. We broke up, another tragedy, so they're replacing them. And then we got Trust Emma Trader, Hyena, and To Take On a Ball. I think that's what we're on. So that's what the show is. Great show. And then Sworn In, Goliath, and Deception Point for June 11th. And local bands, Trifecta of the Audience, Ripping for Your Demise, and The Good My Deal. And then about a week and a half after that is Dead in Alaska. They're one of my friends' bands from Lancaster, California. They'll be playing with a whole bunch of local support. It's a pretty diverse show when it comes to alternative rock and hardcore music, I think. And then I think shortly after that is Redeemer and Defiler, and that's going to be a pretty cool show. All of these shows I mentioned are at the Sanctuary, so that's what we got coming up.
So pretty much that's all I have about talking about Las Vegas music scene, and pretty much Santa's in.
Yeah,
and like
I guess so.
Yeah, do you want to promote anything else before we go?
I respect all the promoters out here. I respect the people that come out and support the local scene. I know you all think that I don't, because, you know, I support one genre of music, but that's not the case. I support everything. I respect everybody, and basically, if I wasn't, you know, in love with music, I would not be doing this job. So please, you know, we thank you for supporting, but sometimes we don't get the things that we deserve when it comes to bringing shows, because we risk about $1,000 every show.
Yeah, Juke King also said that to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so Juke King's an amazing person. He might give you the biggest, you know, issue of your life, but he's a nice person, and he does what he does, and I respect it 100%. However, I like pursuing coke, and that's not supposed to be an insult. It's supposed to be a compliment. You're welcome. Other than that, that's about it.
All right.
So
you want to check out From the Production on Facebook?
Yeah, From the Grave Productions. We have a Facebook. Just search From the Grave Productions. If you want to contact us regarding booking, our email is fromthegraveproductions@yahoo.com. Just hit us up, require anything. If it's, you know, for booking, you know, photography, videography, whatever, just hit us up. We'll deal with it. Like I said, we give every band a chance. We support the music scene, but please do not piss us off, because we do it for you guys. But, you know, you take us for granted. That's a true thing, because a lot of bands just, well, they like to think that they're the tough people, like they're badass, that, you know, they run stuff, but they don't, and they end up getting the biggest amount of crap on the band. So that's about it.
Yeah.
We love you guys, but don't give us crap.
And for sure, check ScreamRockMosh on Facebook, and pretty much.
ScreamRockMosh is an amazing thing. This dude does a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff too. So that's about it.
Yep.
Like I said, Samuel Favada from the Great Productions.
And Roger Castro of ScreamRockMosh.
And you're just tuned in to ScreamRockMosh.
I'm Roger from ScreamRockMosh, and
yeah, you guys, I'm Chris Raup. I'm one of the leaders of From the Great Productions, and I was also the guitar player for the band Impurity Amira, but I recently just left, so ex-Impurity Amira.
So what's your main thoughts about the Las Vegas music scene?
The Las Vegas music scene, as of right now, I think it's all right where it's at right now, but it's starting to fail. It's starting to, a lot of things are starting to fall apart that wasn't the way it was about 4 or 5 years ago. Like, the local bands are getting progressively worse, like equipment-wise, sound-wise. There's a lack of venues. Like, for example, like we're from the Sanctuary right now, and that is the only local venue in town besides the box office where there's continuous local shows. You know, we have the Hard Rock Cafe and House of Blues, but that's more meant for national acts. not really meant for a local show. So my thoughts on the Las Vegas music scene is just really it's starting to fall apart. I really don't want it to fall apart, you know, like, but compared to other scenes out there, like if from being on tour and experience, like we go to a scene in like Idaho or in New Mexico or anywhere else where it's a smaller city, a smaller scene, you come to discover that the Las Vegas music scene is actually way better rock than most of those scenes. Like, this is one of the few places we can have unsigned touring bands. Like tonight, I built the Cross, and still have a decent turnout. Where if you try to tour out, like even in California, like places like LA and San Diego, you'll barely have a draw, if that. So, like, my whole thing right now is 50-50. It's okay, but it's not the best.
Oh, alright. So, how about your main thoughts about the community of the Las Vegas music scene?
Community?
Yeah, like fan base pretty much.
Fan base?
Yeah.
I think people need to start coming out to more shows. To be honest, I'm gonna be straight up honest. Like, they need to start coming out to more shows. I mean, I know money's tight right now. The economy's taking a shit pretty much. There's not a whole lot of money for families to be able to afford shows all the time. Plus, there's too many shows. Like, there's too many promoters, too many shows out in the Las Vegas music scene. There were like 20 shows during a month. Perfect example, this was in March. There was like 18 national acts in 1 month. You have an Extreme thing. You had Stick to Your Guns, The Great Commission, Whitechapel. You had the Devil Wears Prada, and that kind of shit, makes kids pick and choose. All right, do I want to come see this show or do I want to go see this show? I only have $25, so I have enough money for 2 shows, and that also sucks too because when they go to the show, they spend all their money on the tickets and they can't afford to buy merch, which really helps out the touring acts. Like touring bands, the undergrounds, they don't make any money. All their money's made off of merch and their CD sales, which is almost non-existent at this point. So as far as the fan base for the Las Vegas music community, I really think that we can start, getting up there, start going to the shows, start supporting the shows. Everybody works so hard for it.
So, how's your thoughts about the local bands in the scene?
What my personal opinion are?
Yeah. Like how they are. Like,
no offense to any local bands out there, but I really do believe it's starting to get worse. Like back in the day, there were bands like, Ministry Love when they first started, The Seventh Plague. Who else was there? Like Love It or Leave It. Like every band that came out, This Romantic Tragedy, every single one was fucking amazing. They had legit gear. They knew what they were doing. They knew how to sell a show. They really did know how to bring out fans and sell pre-sales. And it was just a way better scene. There were better venues. More people came out, and like the bands really helped affect them. But nowadays, bands, not pointing any fingers, but they'll start playing shows before they're even ready. Like, I talked to countless friends about this, and they're like, do they even practice? Do they even like listen to each other when they play? Like, I see bands with like 25-watt amps and like a shitty guitar go on stage and want to play a show because they think, oh, I want to be on stage, I want that fan. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, noticed too also.
Yeah, it's like you got to work at what at your band because your band's considered your business, and you want your business to sound good because that's how you sell.
Yeah.
Like you need to invest in your guitar. You need to invest in good members, reliable members. Like members that are on key, they're on time. That won't fuck around. They have a job, they have money. But with local bands, it's starting just to go down. Like, to be honest, there's really only 15% of local bands in Las Vegas, I personally believe, that have their shit together, that sound good, they have the right members, they're doing good. That's why they're opening up for these tours and shit. But the other 85%, they need, like, one thing or the other, whether it's like their singer needs to work on his vocals, or the guitar player needs new gear, or whatever the case may be, the other 85% have something that they need to work on. I know, like, when I was in Impurity at Mira, we had our little things to work on, but that, I'm judging my former band on a more, like, on a higher scale than most bands. Like, for the most part, we had our shit together, but then, shit happens, whatever, I'm not in the band anymore. But I really do think that local bands need to start looking up how to really become a band, like start reading books about it, like how to manage your own self, start investing in your gear, look what national bands use for gear, look how other bands do it that are successful in our scene. Something else that the local scene has been doing, like as far as local bands, they've been doing that they fucking stopped doing is nobody supports each other anymore. Everybody talks shit on each other. Everybody's like, oh, my band's better than your band, or your shit sucks, or my shit's awesome. And my whole view on that is you're a fucking local band. Get the fuck over it, you know? Like, until you are touring more than 70% of the year around and you're making a decent living, you have no right to talk shit. Even when you're at that level, you have no right to talk shit because there's always going to be somebody better than you. Or there's always going to be somebody that's bigger than you, you know, that knows a lot more than you. Like me, I don't know everything. I don't admit that. But, you know, something I've really started to notice about bands in the local scene is everybody is out for everybody's blood. Everyone's like, fuck you, or my band's better, or, you know, you guys suck, whatever the case may be. Somebody stole someone's girlfriend, whatever the fuck it is. Bands need to stop fighting with each other and reunite like how it was in the old days. Like all the old bands I talked earlier about, like This Romantic Trash, like Seven Plague, you know, Think, like Eyes Like Diamonds, you know, bands that, you know, were good back in the day, that, you know, it was a great scene. They all loved each other, supported each other. You know, like Postmark tells me all the time, he's another promoter in the Las Vegas music scene, that back in the day when bands would come up with their own bills and there wasn't very a lot of promoters, you could go to a show and see a hardcore band, a ska band, a pop punk band, a fucking Japanese tribal band, for all I give a fuck, and they would all love and support each other. And people would stay for the show and, you know, give each other love. That's what a music scene's about. You know, I know eventually it comes down to business and you make money and do all that shit, but that doesn't exist anymore. Like, bands would rather run each other over with their cars than help each other out, you know. I mean, that's what I've started to notice. If we can stop that shit, the scene actually might be better, in my opinion. Yep.
So, like, any upcoming shows?
The upcoming shows, yes, we do. From the Great Productions, we have June 2nd with the Genocide District, Legend Shall Fall. We have June 11th with Sworn In, Goliath and Deception Point. We have June 23rd, June 23rd with Dead End Alaska. And we have June 28th with Redeemer, Defiler, and Move Forward. July 6th, we have Suffer the Loss and Big for Life. And then July 20th, we have Aegean and Beneath the Veil, all at the Sanctuary. Please go on our Facebook at www.facebook.com/FromTheGreatProductions for all the prices, times, and the other bands playing. Fucking alarm.
Bass drum.
Yep.
Because I think that's pretty much about the review.
Yep.
Yeah, so check out ScreamRockMosh on Facebook, and yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
No problem.